So this is part 2 of how I animated this scene for my film The Sky's the Limit. And it's a fight scene that I used AccuPose all the way through. There's really, everything was done with AccuPose in this scene. Honestly, I don't think I could have done it without it. It was really, really helpful in, especially when it came to the fight motions. Having that pose library as a starting point, as you'll see, really just made things easy. So here you go. So this next shot is going to be kind of an action scene where Griff's going to be using this pipe, which I've linked to his hand, as a weapon to fend off this robot that comes rushing at him. So the first thing I want to do to get set up here is I'm just going to select Griff, and we're going to go to Modify Character, and I want to make sure that foot contact is checked, just so that his feet don't go through the ground, since he's going to be doing a lot of footwork and jumping around. And once that's done, we're going to go straight into AccuPose. So since this is a fight scene, we're going to go down to Combat, and we're going to go down to this Sword and Shield model pack. And I'm going to look for something where he's kind of at the ready to swing the pipe. And we'll use this one, Block L1. So I'll just double click that. And there he goes into kind of a crouch. He's got his hand ready for a shield there, but since he doesn't have a shield, we're going to just adjust this a little bit. And I'm just going to bring his hips forward, maybe rotate them a little bit so he's not so much of at the side. Get his head looking kind of in the direction of where this robot's coming from. And I'm going to move his hand so that the pipe is a little more vertical than horizontal. And I'm going to get his hand outwards. So this will be essentially our starting pose. The next pose in the sequence is he's going to duck down as the robot comes charging at him. So I'm just going to move 5 frames ahead. And we'll go back to the pose presets. And I want to find one where he's ducking down. So looking at these, I think this one's going to work well. And I'll just double click that. And there is a bit of a problem in that if we go back and forth, his whole body shifts back, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to Control Z and undo that. What we want is to make sure that he is keeping this front foot locked in place. That's kind of his anchor at this moment. So I'm going to go over here to Pose Alignment, and we'll just change this to Parts and Position to left foot. And now when I double click Block Low, he keeps that foot anchored, so that works a lot better for us. And again, I'm just going to make some quick adjustments to this. Maybe put his hand still in kind of a blocking move. And I want to bring that pipe up because he's going to be swinging almost immediately. So it's both dodging the robot and getting ready to attack. So just move it a little bit back here and get his face looking the same direction. Okay, so if we go back and forth, he crouches down. And the next thing we want is him to take a big swing. So we're going to keep this left foot part in position for the pose alignment because we want him to still stay anchored to this left foot here. And he's going to do this attack R2 now. So if we just scrub back and forth, he's leaning down. and swinging the pipe. And again, we're just going to make some quick adjustments. What I like to do in a situation like this, it's a pretty weak attack if he just stops right there. So I'm going to go about 3 frames ahead here, and we're going to really push this pose much further so that he's swinging through. So just drag the pipe here, maybe move it down like this. Move this arm further back. We could really twist his whole body, so he's putting everything into this swing. And just going to get his hand coming back here, maybe open that up again. At the control panel, just swing that open, maybe spread the fingers out a little bit. And timing could probably use a little work. It could probably be a bit quicker. But these are the kinds of things we can also fix later on. At this point, we really just want to get the basic poses done. So I've added an extra couple of key poses here for the whole sequence. And I'd like to talk about editing your animation and one of the new tools that really helps me with that. So what I like to do here to make sure the arc of his weapon is working nicely is I'm going to just grab the wrist here. And we're going to look at the motion trail settings. The motion trail will just give us a look at the path that the joint is traveling. So I'm going to grab the right hand and just turn that on. And now we can see the arc that it's making as it travels here, which is pretty good, but there's other places where we could fix it. For instance, here, it's doing a very sharp movement, and I'd like to change that a little bit. So as he's swinging, we'd like it to be a nice round swing, and we can fix that just by adjusting at the keyframes and then seeing the change in the curve here. So I'd like this to be down a little bit as he swings, just to make it a much more natural curve.